Hello friend, it's my pleasure to welcome you to my channel Lesser Graphics and Multimedia, and in today's video you are going to learn how to save custom gradient in Adobe Photoshop step-by-step tutorial. But before we dive deep into the tutorial, if you're very new to this channel, remember to click on the subscribe, turn on notification bell, so each time I post content about Photoshop you'll be notified. And with that being said, so let's dive into the tutorial and see how you can save and get more custom gradient in Photoshop. So like you guys know, you can apply gradients to text or shapes or what have you. So what we're going to try to take a look at is we're going to come to the layer panel right here. So I'm going to make a new layer. Then having made a new layer, I will come to the toolbar right here, and I'm going to select my rectangle shape. Then having selected my rectangle shape, I will come to the top right here, and I'm going to change the color, and I'm going to now having made the rectangle. One very good thing you can do right here is that you can come to the layer panel right here, and what you can do right here is to right click on the layer and you have to come to the top right here. Make sure you choose blending options. So under this blending option, that is where you get gradient stuff. Okay, now when you come to this particular point right here, so you have to locate gradient overlay. You can double click on the gradient overlay. So when you double click on the gradient overlay, you are going to see a window like this is going to pop up. Now from the point here, you can choose your gradient picker. Then when you click on here, you're going to see a bunch of gradients that I've already made right here. Now what you can do right here, let's for instance you want to create your own custom gradient as regard to this particular shape. So you can come to the this point right here. You can decide to change this gradient to another color, and I'm clicking on OK. Now we have it this way. Now one thing is that if you want to save this gradient, it is very much possible if you love this gradient this way. So for you to save this gradient, you just have to come to the point right here where you see create a new gradient preset. So it's going to be saved right here. You can see it here. Now when you save this gradient, you can click on OK. Then one thing you can do here is that you can play around with the gradient format. Now you can come to the degree right here. You can make it 90 degree, and then you're going to see the effect is going to be applied. You can also make it, let's say, 180 degree, 160 degree. So you can make it whatever degree of your choice. Then you can come to the style right here. You can switch from linear to radial. So you can see the radial feature, and you can come here also. You can increase the scale this way. Okay, so once you're satisfied with everything this way, and then the next thing you need to do is to click on OK. Now you have this gradient here as a custom preset save gradient. Now let's take a look at when we want to apply this gradient, this same gradient to another object. So we have to come to the layer thumbnail right here. We make a new layer again. So having make a new layer, this time around we're going to work with type 2. So I'm going to select my type 2. So having select my type 2, so I have to come to the top right here for the type 2 properties. I'm going to change this to black. Then I'm going to increase the size to 36. I'm going to make this white because I have a black background already. Then I'll click on OK. Now I will have to come to the workspace now and make a type. So I will just type in a letter, love. Okay, so this particular text right here, we can apply this gradient to this text. So for us to do that, we have to come to the layer thumbnail layer panel, and we come to make sure we look for blending options. Then this is going to pop up. What you need to do right here is to double click on the gradient overlay. Boom. So you're going to have it this way. You can click on the gradient right here and switch and select the gradient, and you click on OK. You can see this gradient has been fully saved right here. Now we can play around with the gradient format. We can make it linear. Then one more thing we can do here, we can reverse it this way. So you have it in this way. We can also change the rotation. We can also change the angle to 90 degree. So you are going to see the effect on the text. Then we can make the scale. We can make the scale like 100%. We can turn it down to make it like 100%, and you are going to have it in this way. Now, once once you are able to satisfy with all these things, then you are good to go. Then you can also make this text in a add a new custom gradient to this text. So for you to do that, just tap on the gradient picker. Then you have to come here. You can double click on the gradient picker right here, and then this is pump up. Then you can change the color. So let's try and see. Let's work with pink, and so you can see it has been effect. Now you can add additional gradient into the slider. So just tap once, then it's going to automatically create a more color store. Then you have to double click on the color store. Then this is pump up. Then you can pick on whatever color you would like to add into that point. Okay, so once you're satisfied, then you click on OK. Now we have 3 different gradients on this particular slider. So we can double click on here again, and we can change this point to another color. So let's pick on yellow color, and click on OK. So you can see we have these 3 gradients on a single gradient slider. So you can adjust your gradient. You can walk around with everything at the point right here. So once you are satisfied, so you can also save this gradient as a gradient preset. Okay, new gradient preset. Click on new. So it's going to automatically add right here. And then once you satisfy, you click on OK. And finally, you hit on OK. So you have these 2 different gradients from shapes and text, and you have already saved it as a preset in your Adobe Photoshop. Okay, so one very last thing I would like to show you as far as gradient and custom gradient presets is concerned in Photoshop is that you can also go to internet and bring in custom gradient preset code and save it in your Adobe Photoshop. So how do you do that? So let's see. So we're going to use let's go back to our toolbar right here, and I will make sure this time around I'll click and hold down, and I will make sure I choose custom shape this time around. Now I'll come down below right here. I will make a new layer. Then I will just draw custom shape like this. Then we can select on this layer. We can hide this layer. Now we want to color this with gradients, but maybe we are confused about the right color to choose, and we want to have a very kind of a cool gradient on this custom shape. So what we're going to do right here is to go to our layer thumbnail. We right click on the layer thumbnail, and then you go to blending options. Then from here you have to double click on the gradient overlay. Boom. So you are going to have it this way. This is because we have this already on a preset. So for us to change this gradient, we have to tap on here. So we tap on here, it's going to load up more gradient in the preset. Now we have this type different type of gradients. You can pick on anyone that is available and suit your designs. So now let's say we want to change all these gradients. You just have to click on here. So when you click on here, this is pump up, and you can change the color from this angle. Now for us to get a ready-made custom preset from internet gradient, so we have to go to a website. So here is the website URL. So the website is uigradients.com. So when you log into the site, it takes you right here. So now let's take a look at the gradient that we would like to have this. We would like to use for our butterfly. So right here we have Aegon. Okay, so just click on the gradient. So when you click on the gradient, it's open up this way. This gradient here is a combination of 4 different colors. So you can see it here. So what you want to do right here is to just copy the color code. So when you copy the color code, then you go to your Photoshop workspace. So we can double click on here now. So we double click on here, then we have to come here, and we make sure we paste the color code here. You press Ctrl A to copy, Ctrl V to paste, and that is going to paste right here. So you can see, then we click on OK. Now we have to add a slider. Just tap once, and it's going to be added. Once it's added, then double click on the color store. Then when you double click on the color store, you have to go back to internet, and the next color here is this. we copy that, then we go back to our Adobe Photoshop. We come here and we paste and paste by press Ctrl V, and it's going to paste, and then we click on OK. Then we have to add another slider. So we have this one right here. We double click on here now, and the color wheel is going to pump up. Then we have to go back to our website. Then we copy this color, which is the third color, and we come here, we press Ctrl A to highlight, then Ctrl V to paste. So we paste that color there, and we click on OK. Then we have to double click the fourth one, and we go back to internet, and we copy this color here, and we go back to Photoshop, and we press Ctrl A to highlight, then Ctrl V to paste the color, and then we hit on OK. Now we have gained this particular gradient preset from website, and we have it in our Photoshop. So what we can do right here is that we can still save this same gradient if eventually we love this gradient, and what you need to do is to just click on new. Then the preset is going to save as a custom gradient in your Adobe Photoshop. Then you can click on OK. Once you're done and satisfied, you click on OK. You can reverse it. You can walk around with the way and manner the gradient look like, and you click on OK. So let's take a look at the background right here. So let me quickly change the background color, and we'll be able to see what our gradient look like. So you can see it right here. So this is how you can create a custom gradient from internet, even from in your right in your Photoshop also. This is how you can create a thousands of custom gradient. All you have to do is to take your time and see, and make sure you watch this video and apply the step I'm taking in this video, and start to play around with gradients. You're going to be fine with a fantastic different type of gradient that you can create in Adobe Photoshop. I hope this video really helpful. If you find this video useful, give this video a big like, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so whenever I upload content about Photoshop, you'll be notified. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye for now.